The ruling APC looks divided over the outcome of the party's caucus meeting on party mode of primaries. We dig deeper on what this means for Nigeria's ruling party. And the Senate today approved another round of external borrowings for the president. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimalaya, Channels Television, Abuja. Let's begin by telling you that there have been a series of goodwill and congratulatory messages been pouring in for the governor-elect in Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, who was declared winner of the Saturday, 6 November governorship election. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Professor Soludo for his victory. The president praises the security agencies for their determination to ensure that the election went on as smoothly as possible, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for the successful conclusion of the exercise despite the initial challenges encountered. President Buhari is asking Professor Soludo, a member of the Presidential Economic Advisory Committee, to rally other stakeholders to tackle the enormous challenges confronting the state and the Southeast in general. And a sitting minister from Anambra State, Senator Chris Ngige, has also congratulated the former CBN governor on his victory at the poll. The minister said, quote, "It is a case in patience and endurance and aspiration nurtured to serve the people with all his strength. I seriously believe in the Anambra. I know will ends entertain no excuses." Well, much has been given, hence the expectation is very high. Knowing Soludo, as I do, however, have no doubt that our people have made an excellent choice by voting him. End of quote. Senator Chris Ngige ran against Professor Soludo in 2010. And the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Valentine Ozubo, has called the governor-elect on the phone to congratulate him and consider defeat. The PDP candidate was said to have called Professor Soludo at about 1 p.m. today to congratulate him. Well, another candidate that has extended a hand of fellowship to the governor-elect is the candidate of the YPP and sitting Senator Ifeanyi Uba. Senator Uba said, quote, "As a Democrat and law-abiding citizen, I wholeheartedly accept outcome of the election and would like to use this medium to congratulate Professor Soludo on his victory. It is imperative to state that I do not intend to challenge the electoral results as announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, through any court or judicial process." Meanwhile, Professor Soludo himself has been reacting to his victory. The elated former CBN governor thanked the voters for electing him. He made his reaction shortly after the declaration was made. We've seen watching television when the declaration was made. And these are some of his thoughts when he gave the acceptance speech.
With utmost humility and gratitude to God, I accept the results of the 2021 Anambra governorship election as declared by INEC. And this reflects the supreme will of the Almighty God and an overwhelming sacred mandate of the people. Aside from the initial glitches in the operations of the BVAS machines in some places, including at my polling unit, the election has been adjudged as the most peaceful, free, fair, and credible. There is joy in the land. Kudos to INEC. To my fellow candidates in the election, I wish to congratulate you for the gallant contest. Our people have spoken overwhelmingly, and surely that voice is the voice of God. The ultimate winner is Anambra people. We are all winners. I hereby extend my hand of fellowship to all of you. I need all of you to succeed. Politics aside, we're all brothers. Let's come together for the project Anambra. There is enough room for everyone to contribute in the service of our homeland. In Anambra, we fight hard during elections. But meet the next weekend at traditional weddings and funerals and throw banters and share drinks. That's the Anambra way. Let's keep the spirit of Anambra alive and strong, and with it, collectively take our homeland to the moon.
Well, the electoral umpire INEC has released some of the figures that might be interesting or easy for you to understand what came out of that election. The voter turnout is now put at 10.27%, with the winner, Professor Soludo, defeating his closest opponent by more than half of the vote the opponent garnered. Some of your political roundup stories.
President Muhammadu Buhari has attended a working lunch with French President Emmanuel Macron at the Élysée Palace in Paris, France. On the front burner are issues of mutual interest for both countries, particularly on strengthening economic ties, improving partnership on security, and working jointly on education, health, and halting the threat of COVID-19 to the global economy. And back home, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, today presided over the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House. After the meeting, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, disclosed that FEC has approved a 2021 to 2025 National Development Plan with an investment size of 348.7 trillion naira. The plan, which succeeds the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP, that expires in December 2021, will see the federal government broaden the tax base and expand the capacity of the private sector.
The plan has been costed to have an investment size of 348.7 trillion over the 5-year period.
Following his party's victory in the just concluded Anambra governorship election, Governor Willie Obiano has dedicated the victory to courageous Anambra people for voting ABGA. Addressing the press in his country home of Aguleri in Anambra East local government area, Governor Obiano commended the people of the state, whom he says have consistently taken a decision to be on the side of progress. He also expresses gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari, INEC, and security agencies.
I would like to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, for allowing the people's will to prevail in this election.
A group, the Cross River Renaissance Movement, has endorsed the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, to contest for the president of Nigeria on the platform of the People's Democratic Party come 2023. The group, comprising members from the Cross River State House of Assembly, immediate past commissioners and other past special advisors, says their support was based on the sterling leadership qualities and development strides of the River State governor.
Hereby calls on His Excellency Nyesom Wike to declare for the 2023 presidential elections.
Justice Binta Yako of the Federal High Court Abuja has adjourned the trial of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to January the 19th, 2022. The adjournment follows over the refusal of operatives of the DSS to allow some of the legal team gain access into the courtroom.
We are trying to get inside. They lock us out.
This is a lock us out.
They lock us out. I was insisting,
knocking,
shouting that you should open the door. They lock us out.
Just meters away out of the court premises, pro- and anti-Kanu protesters fill the streets, chanting songs with banners and placards.
Let's tell you quickly that the Senate today approved President Muhammadu Buhari's external borrowing rolling plan request. There is sum of $16 billion, and also approved by the Senate was a grant component of $125 million US. The loans are to be funded by the World Bank, the China Exim Bank, industrial and commercial banks, as well as African Development Bank, AFDB, among others. Well, let's get into our first conversation tonight. The debate over the mode of primaries in party election has come up again. And this time, it does not look like it might go as easily as one would predict. Yesterday, an enlarged tripartite committee set up by President Muhammadu Buhari for the APC to resolve the differences within the party has disagreed on the use of direct primaries by the parties to select their candidates. At the end of the meeting, which held in the State House in Abuja and chaired by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the committee, which consists of the executive, legislature, and the APC leadership, clearly failed to convince members of the National Assembly on the need to provide an alternative for the direct primary option. The meeting comes hours after the passage of the electoral bill by the National Assembly, which has approved direct primaries as a template on sole mode of primaries upon which political parties will pick candidates for general elections. Well, take a listen to some of the position of the members at that meeting yesterday.
The Deputy President of
We stand on the legislation passed by the two chambers of the National Assembly, and it is irreversible. We have concluded that the law stands. We are returning the party back to the people, that is conducting direct primaries. We believe that that is the only way we can ensure internal democracy within the All Progressive Congress. The conduct of the congresses, right from the ward level up to the state level, was being hijacked by the governors. And we felt that as a remedy to this, in order to save our party, it's better we adopt the direct primaries. This is the only way the party can survive and can face all other parties that will contest with the All Progressive Congress. We have respect for the governors, we have respect for the members of the executive, and we have always done their bidding. But this time around, we want direct primaries to stay. And no member of the National Assembly has said no to this.
Is a former governor, a sitting senator, one of those who orchestrated the issue of the direct primaries. Don't forget, it was, you can tie it to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, who was one of the first people who mooted the idea of having direct primaries. Well, also the history can date back to someone like Rauf Aregbesola, the former governor of Osun State. So there's been history of this contestation, whether or not direct or indirect. It's been used in Lagos, it's been used in several places. In fact, President Buhari has said, you remember when he said, from top to bottom, the party must go to the people. But it looks like the National Assembly have a position, and the governors of the party and some leaders in the APC have their own position. Let's get some more perspectives on this one. I'm being joined tonight by the governor of Kogi State, Governor Yahaya Bello. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Sheon Kimbaloye, and good evening, viewers.
The National Assembly members said they want to take the party to the people with the use, with the concept of the direct primaries. But you're one of those who want indirect primaries. So if they say they want to take the party to the people, it means you want the opposite. Is it that you don't want the party to the people?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me congratulate my brother, our brother, and our friend, His Excellency Professor Charles Soludo, the winner of the just concluded Anambra State governorship election. I congratulate him, I congratulate you, I congratulate my brother, my friend, and colleague, Governor Willie Obiano. I congratulate the people of Anambra State. I congratulate Nigerians. I congratulate President Muhammadu Buhari, under whose leadership is allowing free, fair, and credible election. Having said that, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, in his wisdom, he wanted a very smooth governance, rancor-free. Having experienced what happened in his first term between 2015 and 2019, where there is this rift between the party and those in the executive, between the executive and the legislature. So this time around, he decided to set up a tripartite committee headed by Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the vice president. And then to address any topical issues that will affect the nation generally in order to have a smooth passage. And it has been working very fruitfully. Zeroing it down to this particular issue of direct and some, the recent issues. First, the question is that the National Assembly are elected to do their job. We respect that 100%. We of the governors or the executive. And of course, we have seen the wonderful and cordial relationship between the National Assembly or the legislature and the executive, especially at national level and at state level. Be that as it may, on this issue of taking the party back to the people, the question is, who took the party away from the people in the first place? Is it the legislature or the executive? I think the party remains with the people. Mr. President, in his wisdom, said, rebuild this party from bottom up and ensure that credible Nigerians are members and executives of this party. Starting from mobilization or registration of members into our party, despite all the hues and cry and demarketing of Mr. President and his administration, more members, we have recorded more members in the party more than ever before. That is the first stage. The second stage is to go into the local government, the world congresses. The world congresses were conducted freely, and to a very large extent, it was rancor-free, except few states, and I'll go into that. Now, how was the world congresses conducted? They were direct by the party constitution. It is the members of the party that will elect those they want them to represent them at world level, and delegates for any convention or congresses that might arise. Now, were they deprived? Is it the governor that sat down and write the results? I will speak for myself because I am governing a state, the Kogi state. We conducted all of our elections and exercises freely, fairly, and rancor-free. No one single ambiguity in that. And to the best of my knowledge, I am not the spokesman, I'm not speaking for the party, but to the best of my knowledge, it was rancor-free in majority of all of the states. Then from there up to the state congresses, both ward, local, and state congresses were conducted. In democracy, or in a contest like this, some persons or group of persons would win, some interests would be taken care of, some would fall out naturally. Then, what happens thereafter? There will be room for reconciliation, mediation, and, coming together, consensus building. And that, to a very large extent, the party have put into consideration, aside the exercise that was conducted and the appeal committee. The party had gone further to inaugurate a peace and reconciliation committee under the able leadership of one of our revered leaders in the National Assembly, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, former governor of Nasarawa State. He's well-respected. He's a well-respected elder and leader of our party. And the process has commenced. Now, you won't believe, surely some people will be having issues with, in their states. And I will give it to you straight away. Like my brother that just spoke just now, distinguished Senator Adamu, he had issues in his state with his governor. If governors are being, accused today of, trying to hijack the party and then taking the party away from the people, the question is, if you lose out in bringing in executives at the ward, local government, and state level, where direct primaries were conducted, direct exercise, that is members electing those who will be electing others, how do you think he will still be able to make it, returning back to the same system where direct primaries is going to be conducted? Right. But let me tell you that we as governors, I don't think anybody is afraid of direct primaries.
You don't feel threatened? The governors don't feel threatened?
No governor.
That's the impression from the National Assembly.
No governor, I can tell you, not APC, not PDP, not ABGA. At least these are the parties that we have today.
Because the allegations and the accusations are that the governors basically dole out tickets to National Assembly. They determine the fate of the lawmakers. They look them in the eye and say, you will not return, you will return because you're not faithful to me, you're not loyal to me, and you will return, you're not return. And that's how they've operated.
So it means they are beneficiaries of those, or if such happen, meaning they are beneficiaries.
Is that what happens?
But that is completely out of it.
Do you determine who goes to the National Assembly from your state?
The party determines who.
But you are the leader of the party in the state.
Of course. Ours is just to provide the lead. And the people determines.
Why do they think that they need to checkmate your powers?
Well, that is the purpose of legislature. That is one of their essence. The essence is to, for give and take. But let me tell you that I will always caution that whenever we are making law or taking decision, we shouldn't be basing it on the impulse of the moment. Let me give you just these few statistics. In Nigeria today, exercises were conducted in 34 states of the Federation, save Anambra because of the elections there, and Zamfara because of the ongoing registration. Remember, the governor just joined us, and they need to do fresh registration. So 34 states. Out of these 34 states, we have 21 APC states that are governed by APC. And out of these 21 states, let me tell you the states that have issues with their senators and legislators. I don't have any issue with my legislatures, both at national level and at state level. The same senator that spoke just now have issue with his governor. That is one. And Kano. These are the two states in the northwest. In the northeast, we have issue between the governor of Gombe and one of his senators. That is three. In north central, I think Kwara State have issue, and it is not because it's not with the senator. It is basically the governor and the minister. In all, when you count it, you won't have more than 5 or 6 out of 21. Now, do you nationalize your personal problem? We are not saying that anybody is afraid of direct primaries, but let me tell you, the drafters of the party constitution, especially as it affects APC, envisaged that there could be a situation where one particular mode of primaries may not be feasible, then you adopt another. Let me even go further. That aside politics and this party politics of a thing, even in religion, in Islam, there are only two things that has no alternative. First, taking kalmat shahadat, or life, first of all. Life has no alternative. Secondly, kalmat shahadat, that's to believe in the oneness of God and the prophets of Almighty Allah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all of his other prophets. These are the only two things that has no alternative in Islam. Even the mode of prayer, there's an alternative. If you can't stand, or if there's no water and you cannot use water to perform ablution, you're allowed to do dry ablution. If you cannot stand to pray, you're allowed to sit, or you're allowed to even lie, or you're even allowed to use your mind to pray, depending on your condition. During fasting, if you cannot fast 30 days or 29 days, as the case may be, there are ways you are allowed. to feed the people.
So you're looking
now
at,
let me tell you.
You're looking at
now,
multiplicity of options.
Exactly. I'm coming. Let me take you there. So the drafters envisage that there are issues like that where there are options. Now, if you now come up with a legislation and you say it must be one, what happens if situation would arise and congresses cannot be held or primaries cannot be held? And we are saying INEC must, observe it. What happens if such cannot happen?
But
then it
is
means
the
there's no
position
primaries.
of the governors or those who are in favor of indirect primaries? By the way, for our viewers who are wondering what direct or indirect primaries are, the direct primary is all-comers affair. That is, every member of the party that is a true member of the party has a right to vote for someone who will run or will carry the flag or fly the flag of the party, while the indirect is a collegiate, is a delegate election where you choose a few people who will now pick on the party's behalf. And so the question is, are you saying that they should add options, or you're saying that they should replace it with indirect?
No. Let there be options.
That is what you're conversing
Let there be options, because you see, if we box ourselves into a corner because of certain perception and trying to set the people against the party or against the government, we may be consumed at the end of the day. Remember, this is a nascent democracy, even though it's 61 years today. But let me tell you that we're not yet matured up to that point. The people elect those who represent them. If we are saying that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, the whole Nigerian should have been in the National Assembly.
All right.
Without electing those who should represent them.
Governor, let me ask.
But let me tell you, just excuse me, sir. Governor Yahaya Bello, is not afraid of direct primaries. In fact, if anything, I would even prefer it.
But you have not used it. You have always used indirect in your state.
That is what the party at the state level desire, and we followed it. But I am confident of my popularity. And whoever is popular should go and test his popularity at the polls. But let me tell you, there are certain implications that we're not looking into. If you say direct primaries, it means in every polling unit, elections must hold. And if in every polling unit we have 30 political parties today, it means INEC must supervise 30 general elections in one season before the general election. Meaning in one election season, there will be 31 elections to be conducted. Have we considered that on our finances? And yet, we are complaining of fund for other critical sectors. Are we going to spend all of the monies in conducting primaries?
So you're saying logistically
and where is the manpower? Where is even the manpower by INEC to even supervise it?
So, Governor, let me ask.
And in addition to that again, 30 political parties, let me tell you, there are 2 major political parties, and then ABGA. Are we saying that the same energy or resources or muscle or reach that APC and PDP has, all other political parties will have? It means we are equally telling other political parties to go and die. That is what we are saying.
All right, because
and we believe in multiple,
multi-party
democracy. Yes.
We need to take a break now, but I need to ask you: is this the position of President Buhari?
I'm not the spokesperson of President Muhammad Buhari.
But he's your very good friend. You're very close to him.
Mr. President is my father, and our mentor.
What has he told you about this mode of primaries?
I don't have such discussion with Mr. President. Mr. President had direct primaries in the last time, but he did not contest with anybody.
But it seems he loved it.
Mr. President likes popular candidates to emerge.
Does the VP vote for indirect or direct?
The position of president is the position of the vice president. At least that is his principle.
Which is indirect?
Look, let me tell you, I cannot speak directly for Mr. President or whichever, but I want to assure you that Mr. President is, open to free, fair, and credible processes along the way, whichever way it
All
is
right,
going to
let's
be.
take a breather, Governor, because there are a few issues that I'd like to take you up on. Plus your ambition in 2023, what that means for the APC, the issue of the zoning, what that means for the APC, and also where this is leading to. They are accusing fingers. I'll give you direct accusation that are coming towards the governors in the APC. We take a break. We get some closing thoughts from Governor Yaya Bello when we return from the break. But also, we will be speaking with Dr. Sam Onwabunwa, who recently says that he's on a mission for a new Nigeria. We find out what that agenda is all about. He's a member of the PDP from the start east, and he wants to be president. Join us again, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Governor Yaya Bello of Kogi State has been talking to us right here on the program on the issue of the mode of primaries and their accusations, pointing at the governors that they have somewhat micromanaged the party. They are the determinant of virtually everything and perhaps pose a threat to some lawmakers. This issue of whether or not to use direct or indirect primaries was actually one of it was made popular by the speaker, one of the leaders of your party.
What were the memoranda? All the memoranda submitted, what was contained in them? You see, sometimes when we take decisions as leaders, we just have to be sincere. Like I said, I, as a governor today in Kogi State, I will even prefer the direct primaries. But if
why
it
are
is
you
going
going
to,
for indirect? If you would prefer it.
I would prefer it, but I said the constitution of our party guarantees and allows every state to determine what they want, because that is the option there. And if at that time the state, that's what the state prefer, I'm bound by it.
So, Governor, there are few
but
dangers
let me tell you that whether APC governor, whether PDP governor, any governor at all that is afraid of direct primary means he's not popular. And I can assure you no governor is not popular in his state. And in any case, I'm telling you of the implication. Let the general public not be set against the governors or against the government. We of the governors, we are all ready for direct primaries. What we are simply saying is this: taking decision, we have to be sincere about it. Not having something behind our mind and doing another. Let's not take one decision that is going to rub on other, already established structures. Are we going to fizzle out some other political parties who will not be able to muzzle things together to conduct the primaries? What happens to the budget of INEC at the end of the day? It means whatever is the budget for 2023 is going to be multiplied by 31. That is the implication. So some of these things we must put them into consideration. The people require the infrastructure that this money we are going to use in conducting primaries, especially given to INEC, the police, and all law enforcement agencies to be able to monitor all of these primaries in every polling unit. This and several
every
other,
ward.
Virtually.
Direct primaries is usually from the ward levels.
Whether it is ward, that is enormous. It is enormous for some young political parties, and we want to encourage political parties to come on board.
All right.
So it means
it
we're using
look
our
like,
hand to equally kill it.
It looks like the governors have mapped out, have marshaled their points to defend their position. But there are landmines, Governor Bello. And one of the landmines is that, your tripartite meeting came on the day the National Assembly passed the Electoral Amendment Bill. The last time around, the president did not sign it because it wasn't comfortable. You've directly or indirectly told us the position of President Buhari.
No, we're not speaking on behalf of for Mr. President.
But with the body language, it does look like we know the position of the president. So the question I want to ask you, Governor Bello, is that will this position from that meeting, the caucus meeting, not affect the assent of President Buhari on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill?
It is left for Mr. President. There has been several bills that Mr. President declined, not just this particular, or not just an electoral amendment bill. After all, there was nothing like tripartite meeting the other time when Mr. President declined. So if he's going to assent to this, it's up to him. If you decline, it's up to him. But I want to assure you that, look, no governor is afraid of direct primary. I am assuring you that. And if direct primary is going to return our members of the National Assembly, majority of them back to the National Assembly for quality legislation, 100% I am in support of it. But let nobody use local or personal problems and nationalize it and think everybody will be cool by that. That is one. Then secondly, let me tell you, the issue of tripartite committee that was set up by Mr. President was to resolve issue before decisions are taken. The meeting that was held yesterday in the villa was already, it was more or less like fait accompli. To me, it wasn't necessary any longer because a meeting was supposed to be held before the passage. But in order to, it's more or less like fait accompli. So nobody should say that all of us went there and all of us endorsed what was done in the National Assembly. But I can assure you, governors are ready for direct primaries.
All right. Let's because of time, I needed to take you up on a few issues, and that has to do with the position of your party in 2023. We are hearing a lot of stories. There are those who have come to say we want Governor Bello to be president. There are those who have said we want Governor Tinubu, former Governor Tinubu, to be president. There are those even have come and said we want the VP to be president. Are you still having the ambition to be Nigeria's president?
Nigerians are entitled to their opinion, and all of us that have been put out there, myself, our leader and father, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Vice President who are eminently qualified, like yourself as well, for presidency in 2023. And when the time comes, we're going to speak. But like I said, Nigerians are calling on me. Of course, because of my performance in Kogi State. Kogi State was largely divided against itself before I came on board. Decay in infrastructure, insecurity, and a lot of troubles. Today reverses the case. And if what we have done in Kogi State alone, by uniting the people, by fighting insecurity head-on, and making Kogi State the most safest or the safest state in Nigeria today, by ensuring that there's equity, fairness, and justice in Kogi State, if that is required, they are asking me to come and replicate it at national level. I would be glad.
But will you be willing, for the sake of your party also, because we have been hearing this, maybe you want to step down for Bola Tinubu at some point. Is that true?
We're here to make our intentions publicly known. So I don't know where the issue of stepping down for anybody arises. And in any case, when we declare, we're going to run the full hog by the grace of God.
You will not be backing down?
When we declare, we shall run the full hog. And by the grace of God, we will be in to help build on what Mr. President have started.
You think you're perhaps the best person that could do the job? I mean, you've mentioned a few people.
Today, Nigeria is bedeviled with all of those troubles. And Kogi is rated as the safest.
So for that sake, you think that you're most qualified?
If this studio is not safe, we won't be here today. Security before any other thing. And if I am called to come and fix that in this country, I will not hesitate.
Have you spoken to the president about it?
That is personal.
Because you call him your father. So that I wanted to know what your thoughts are, what his thoughts are about your ambition.
That is personal. I always relate with Mr. President on the development in Kogi State of how I'm uniting the people, how I'm fixing the security architecture, how I'm managing the meager resources that is coming our way, and how I'm putting the people together, securing our borders that borders 9 states, and providing succor and safety for FCT. And Mr. President has always been very pleased, and he continues to encourage me to continue to do my best.
We have 30 seconds, Governor Bello. And the question is, on one hand, the issue of whether or not where it should go, the rotation idea and that concept of zoning. And the other one is whether or not your party even deserve to get another shot at ruling this country in 2023. And that is going to be the take of the Nigerian people. Isn't that a big challenge for you?
When you talk of zoning, you see, the Constitution, first of all, guarantees each and every eligible Nigerian to vie for any position. And we're talking of democracy. That is number one. So I am eminently qualified. And when you're talking of zoning, there are 6 geopolitical zones in this country. If that is the argument, and we are shouting and talking of fairness, equity, and justice in this country, is it not fair to consider zones that are yet to produce the presidency? And if you go by that parameter, I am eminently qualified.
All right. Your Excellency, we need to leave it at that. Thank you so much, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Governor Yahya Bello. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah. We'll take a break, everyone. When we come back, it's going to be time for us to talk with the former president of the Nigerian Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Dr. Simon Abonwa. Stay with us. He's going to be talking to us on a mission for a new Nigeria. What does that mean? We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's get started with our second half of the conversation. A former president of the Nigerian Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Dr. Simon Abonwa, says he is on a mission to inspire a new Nigeria, and he has shown interest in the office of the president in the 2023 general elections. Mr. Abonwa, who is a member of the platform of the PDP, is confident that his position is a forced public declaration by anyone from the southeast. Well, he had an event tagged Rebuilding Nigeria for Prosperity and Global Competitiveness. That's at an event where he declared the new Nigeria concept. What does this mean? Let's speak with him. He's in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Dr. Simon Abonwa.
Thank you, Shehu. Good to see you, and good to speak with you.
For example, let's start with you're talking about the concept of new Nigeria. What exactly does this mean?
Shehu, I think most Nigerians are speaking in terms of getting tired and frustrated with what has been happening in our country over the last many years. We're a 61-year-old country, and if you look at all the indices of development, is it the Human Development Index? Is it quality of life, life expectation, GDP growth, poverty, employment, unemployment rate, misery index? Nigeria has been going down the ladder. We are following up and actually being the ones that cover the bottom on many of those indices. Nigerians have gotten to the point where many people have given up on the country. Some are looking for opportunity to exit the country, to run away, especially the young people, who today, from the statistics we see, 53% of youths are unemployed, 22% are unemployed. We have 71% of Nigerians poor. Nigerians are tired of this story. People come and tell stories. What we measure is results, not story. Not story and not all kinds of hyperboles. It is clear that our country has underperformed chronically in virtually every facet of human endeavor. And today it's even worse, that even life, safety of lives and property cannot be guaranteed to anybody. Every day you open the papers, you listen to channels, television, you listen to other news media, there is so much anarchy already in the country. People are killing. All kinds of non-state actors have taken over. Soon we are going to have fiefdom. Somebody will say, don't go to work on a Monday. Another one is going to work a Tuesday. And it just happens. Another will issue a threat, quit. We give you 60 days to quit. And nothing happens. Saying Nigerians want a new country. We are tired of this old country where nothing seems to work. We want to bat a new Nigeria that will be globally competitive. A country that will be at peace with itself. A country that will have provision for total economic empowerment and expression of its citizens, a country where Nigerians will live at peace with each other, a country that espouses the principles of equity, justice, and fair play, where every child born in this country has equal opportunity with another child to get its maximum. We're a country of diverse nationalities. We need to get together to agree on how to manage this country in a manner that it will meet the expectations of the people. That is the new Nigeria, a globally competitive Nigeria, a first world, and a nation that lives at peace with itself. That is what we espouse. Because you hear the stories people are telling you. They've been telling us this story forever. How do you make sure they are doing well? What is the unemployment rate in each of these states? What is the poverty rate in each of these states? What is the life expectancy rate? What is the maternal mortality? What's the infant mortality? That's what we're saying. The countries who started at the same grade with us in the 60s, 70s, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, United Arab Emirates, they've all emerged either developed, emerging nations or industrialized nations. And we're here telling stories. We are importing everything that we need. We are the ones that will produce oil. We will export the crude oil. We then go and import refined petroleum of all calibers. We produce rubber, we export it, then we bring back tires and buy it in foreign exchange. You see, the thing is that we have mismanaged our country so much so that we become the butt of the world. We are called the fantastically corrupt nation.
I wouldn't have expected less from you. I mean, from the kind of person that I know that you are, your intellectual capacity and your background, your professional background, I wouldn't have expected less. You have a good grasp of the ideas and the concepts that could help Nigeria be the nation that it should be. If I check my house, I'll probably have this tall, the concepts of political ideas and ideologies and blueprints on what Nigeria should be. I'm not sure that we are in short supply of the kind of ideas that need to move Nigeria forward. The question is the how and the kind of people that could do it. So the question is that it gladdens the heart of a lot of people when someone like you comes forward to say they want to put themselves forward to be used and do what will take Nigeria forward. The question is how? How do you hope to achieve this?
So how we need to achieve it is to get an aggregate of like-minded citizens of Nigeria who are liberated, who are enlightened, who have a track record of competence, ability to start things and finish them, ability to dream dreams and bet those dreams. We need to have a group of Nigerians who have good character, people of character and integrity, not who are selling you stories. They are telling you something else and they are doing something else. In the morning, they tell you one thing else. In the afternoon, they tell you another thing. And they think they are deceiving us. And they have deceived us long enough. So we need competence. We need character. We need courage. There are a lot of things that should be done in this country. Unfortunately, some of our leaders have failed to exhibit the courage. What they are afraid of, my group do not know. What they are afraid of, why they can't speak the truth to power, speak the truth to their friends, take decisions that they believe will help to change this country. This country is yearning, is bleeding at all seams. And what we're going to do differently, is we're going to get the right people, the right competence, motivate them, and then get them to do the job.
Okay, so, I mean, we're getting somewhere. And I'm asking, I'm saying this idea, when you say new Nigeria, you don't want the old Nigeria, you want a new Nigeria. Where will you get it from? How would you birth it? How will you establish it? And you probably may not be able to achieve this without a proper political and democratic process. So, do you have that political capital to make those ideas happen?
Nigerians have gotten tired of allowing the old system to work. Everything comes to an end for crying aloud. Every kingdom has a day that kingdom falls. Every fashion fades. Every civilization changes. We have gotten to the point where the youngest Nigerian is frustrated with what is going on. And they are willing, the young people, the elderly, everybody is willing to come out and play the role. Look at what is happening among the youths. Look at what's happening among the not too young. They are mobilizing. So what it takes, Shehu, is for us to appropriately sell our project, sell our ideas, sell our vision, then invite people to buy into this vision, understand the vision, and then motivate ourselves. Yes, there are things called political capital. We have political capital. I've been around for a while. I mean, I have been involved in political activities at my state, in the country. I have served in several boards, several presidential advisory committees, in several boards, and participated in Vision 2010, 2020, been member of the Political Reform Conference. Most of the political activities, and most of them working with us have this idea. It's just that we haven't been competitive. That's all. We're just imagining to be competitive now.
Yeah, let me put it to start. So politicians will tell you that if you go to the polls today, I will give you 5 million votes. Some will even say that they've contested elections and they've also always delivered 10 million votes. Dr. Wabua, if you go to the polls today, how much votes can you boast of?
Well, I will try the people, because I don't talk about people who write votes, who concoct figures. We are going to have figures that people will express themselves. I've been around the 36 states of Nigeria, trying to establish that the new Nigeria group. Everywhere we went, people were eager. In the north, in the south, in the east, on the west. They want a country that will work for everybody. So political power, political relevance, it's a dynamic thing. It's related to the situation and what you bring on the plate. When for somebody like Chief MK Abiola came to power, what political power did he bring along? What political did he have? It is coming at the right time to deliver the right message and let the people look at your pedigree. Let them look where you're coming from. What have you done before? And so where are you going? Are you believable? Are you trustworthy? This is the thing that will count for people like us who have not imbibed the methods. Some of these methods, I'm sure you know, are not worth imbibing. Some of these political whatever are not worth having, because we are talking about sincerity. We need to get to a level where people do things righteously and rightly. If we continue to cheat the system, break the system, and use money and all kinds of power to grab power, we'll be going around in a circle, because for 61 years, we've had sports. Look at those leaders who have changed situation. It wasn't that because they had political clout. It was because there were people who were knowledgeable, they were globally sensitive, they were detribalized, and they meant well. They were not looking for anything for themselves. Most of these actors who have are looking for things for themselves or for their group.
Yeah, and I want us to anchor on this point. You are from the southeast region of the country. I know a lot of the people from your region of the country are clamoring for a presidency, a shot at a presidency. Is that on that note that you are coming forward, or you're coming forward just as a Nigerian without having to consider your where you come from? Does that matter in any case? Just for us to wrap up.
Sure, I came on this job by motivation, and because I've waited for Nigeria to happen. The whole world has waited for Nigeria to happen. They are frustrated that we remain potential, we never become kinetic. We never move from where we were, instead we're going backwards. I came out of conviction that I have the competence, I have the character, I have the experience, I have the exposure, I have the managerial skill and leadership skill to motivate Nigerians, the young and the old, to be the best of what they can be in a free country where you do not have people oppressing other people or using money or power to keep people down. Power is being given to the people to go and do primary at their level. Somebody will say, no, you shouldn't do primary. We want to be able to take decision. We can take people and then put them in hotels, cover them, bus them to somewhere and tell them what. We know what goes on in this country. And they think they are deceiving us. Nigerians are tired of being deceived. So I'm not here because I'm from the Southeast. But if the Southeast is giving a concession to promote justice, equity, and fair play, it will solve two problems at a time. You have a competent Nigeria who becomes president that will unite the country and lead to wealth development and deal with poverty, corruption, injustice, and insecurity. And at the same time, you bring equity. Because part of our problem showing in this country is that many sections of the country are feeling discriminated, they are feeling marginalized. And if we want to deal with insecurity, we must deal with injustice. So giving that opportunity to Southeast will be helpful. But that's not my motivation. It just be an additional bonus if Nigerians accept it.
You have spoken, Dr. Samuel Waboa, and Nigerians are listening, but then it's now up to them to act and determine whether or not they will want you when the time is ripe for you to officially come into the ring. Dr. Samuel Waboa, I wish you the very best in your new Nigeria concept, and going forward, our nation will be better for it. Thank you so much, Dr. Samuel Waboa, for joining us tonight. And that's our show for today, everyone.
My pleasure.
Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimberley. Bye for now.